parameters. Find the Z parameters for the given network. That is R1. This is R1, R3, R2. Right? So what are the Z parameter equations? So in case of Z parameters, V1, V2 are the dependent variables, and I1, I2 are the independent variables. Right? So therefore, V1 equal to Z11, I1 plus Z12, I2. Similarly, V2 equal to Z21, I1 plus Z22, I2. Right? So these are the basic equations, right? Z parameter. Right? Now, so to find out Z parameters for this given network, okay? So the Z parameters are also called as the open circuit parameters, open circuit impedance parameters. Means, so to find out these Z11 and Z21, you need to open circuit. That is the port 2. That means you need to substitute. So if IP is 0 means, what it means? If IP is 0 means, that is indirectly you are open circuiting the port 2. Right? Now if you substitute I2 equal to 0 in these equations, so you will get this Z11 and Z21. Right? So for that one, if you apply KVL at the input side, this loop, input side. So therefore, if you write the KVL equation, that is minus R1 I1 minus R3 of I1 plus I2 plus, this is plus minus, right, plus V1 equal to 0. So if you rearrange this equation, you will get V1 equal to R1 I1 plus R3 I2. Right? Similarly, if you apply by open circuiting this port 1, that is the substituting I1 equal to 0. And if you apply KVL at this port 2, output side. Okay, you get the equation like this.
Sir, once see that R3 I1, sir, I think I2 is equal to 0 now, sir.
Right. Good. Right. Good. So this term I2 is 0. So therefore, you will get only V1 equal to R3 plus. Yeah, this is also R1 only. R3 plus.
R1 plus R3 of I1, sir.
Right. So that is V1 equal to R3 plus R1 plus R3 into I1. Yeah, so let's first please. So that is V1 is equal to R1 I1 plus R3 I1. Okay. Similarly, when I1 equal to 0, if you apply KVL at M2, that is this loop. That is, this is plus minus, this is plus minus. Right? So therefore, V2 minus I2R2 minus R3 of I2 plus I1 is equal to 0. So therefore, V2 equal to I2R2 plus R3 I2, right? And what about this one? I1 is 0. So therefore, this term will get R3 into I1 is 0. Okay, this is equation 2. Okay, clear? Now, if we compare this equation 3 and 4, that is with these basic equations, that is V1 equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2 and V2 equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. This is equation 1 and equation 2. So if we compare by comparing equation 3 and equation 4 with equation 1 and equation 2. You will get this Z parameters. That is Z11 is equal to R1 and Z21 is equal to
Sir,
R2
sir,
and
Z11 equal to R1 plus R3, sir.
okay. That is Z11 equal to R1 plus
R1
R3.
plus R. Z21 equal to
R1,
R2 plus R3, sir.
right. Yeah, Z21 equal to R2 plus R3. Okay, దీన్ని rearrange చేస్తున్నాం. ఇది R1 plus R3 into I1. Okay. And similarly Z21 is equal to, so here if you see this I2 is common, so therefore I2 of R2 plus R3. So therefore Z21 equal to R2 plus R3. Now again we need to find out these remaining two, that is Z12 and Z22. So how will you find out this Z12, Z22? So what is Z12? Z12 is nothing but the here. Z12 is equal to that is V1 by I1, right? Z1 V1 by I2, right? Similarly, Z22 is equal to V2 by I2. Yes, just hold on. Just I missed one. Same number. Just okay, clear? Now if you apply KVL at mesh 1. that is Kvl at V1, that is V1. Okay, that is V1 equal to just hold on. There is a small problem with this PPT. I'm adjusting that one. Structured. It's not moving. Just wait now. Now is it okay? V1 minus I1 R1 minus R3 of I1 plus I2 is equal to 0. So therefore V1 is equal to I1 R1 plus R3 I1 plus R3 I2. So therefore if I arrange these equations, you will get R1 plus R3 of I1 plus R3 I2 is equal to 0. Okay, this is equation 3, that is V1. Okay, similarly from mesh 2, KVL at mesh 2, that is V2 minus R2 I2 minus R3 of I2 plus I1 is equal to 0. So therefore V2 equal to R2 plus R3 or okay, R3 I1 that is R3 I1 plus R2 plus R3 I2. This is 4, right? Now if you compare this, compare equations 1 and 2 with 3 and 4, that is Z11 is equal to Z11 equal to R1 plus R3 and Z12 equal to R3. Okay, R3 and Z21 is equal to R3, Z22 equal to R2 plus R3. Okay, is it okay? Any doubts? Hello? Hello? Hello, one of you please respond. Shall I go for next one? Based on this problem? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Next one. Construct a circuit that realizes the following Z parameters. Student, here the Z parameters values are given, that is Z equal to 12, 4, 4, 8. These are given. That means Z11 value is given and Z12 value is given, Z21 value is given, and these parameters are given. Now they are asking to construct a circuit, means how to find out the um, series arm value, series arm resistance value, and shunt arm resistance value. Here to construct a circuit, that is T circuit. For these parameters, for these given Z parameters, what should be the values of this R1, R3, and R2? R1, R2, and R3. Yeah, how will you find out? Yeah, please respond. Answer is only possible. Hello. Already మనం ఇక్కడ చేసాం కదా. We know that Z11 equal to R1 plus R3 and Z12 equal to R3, right? Okay, we know that. Can anybody read out? Z11 equal to R1 plus R3. Z12 is equal to R3 and Z21 equal to R3, Z22 equal to R2 plus R3, right? So that means here Z12 is nothing but is equal to, what is the Z12 value? Z12 is 4. Z12 is 4. Okay, Z21 is also 4. Means R3 value is directly given, that is 4 ohms, right? And how will you find out here R1 and R3? We know the Z11 value, that is Z11 value is given as 12. 12 is equal to R1 plus R3, and also we know the R3 value. So therefore R1 equal to 12 minus R3, that is 12 minus, what is R3? R3 is 4. So therefore R1 is 8 ohms. Similarly, Z22 is also known. Z22 value is given as 8. Okay, so Z22 equal to R2 plus R3. Z22 it is given as 8. 8 equal to R2 plus R3. What is R3 value? R3 is 4. So therefore R2 equal to 8 minus 4, that is 4 ohms. This is 4 ohms. Is it okay? So construct means you have to realize, you have to draw the circuit, equivalent circuit for this given Z parameters. Okay, this is 8, 4, 4. This is R1, this is R2, R3. Okay, so ఈ ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికి బిఫోర్ దట్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ దట్ సర్క్యూట్. ఓకే, సో ఇందాక ఎవరు చెప్పారు కదమ్మా, యా, హూ ఇస్ దట్? ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్. సార్ అది జీరో అని. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ జీరో నాన్న. ఇక్కడ మనం ఏంటంటే హియర్ ద వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ నాట్ గివెన్, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ది జనరల్ ఈక్వేషన్స్ ఫర్ దిస్ సర్క్యూట్. ఇక్కడ I2 అనేది జీరో ఏం కాదు. ఓకే, అది నువ్వు కొంచెం మిస్లీడ్ చేసేసరికి నేను, రైట్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్. Yeah, next. Find Find Z parameters for the following circuit. That is this is 20 ohms. Okay, this is 50 ohms. This is 25 ohms, and this is a voltage dependent voltage source, that is 0.5 V2. This is I2. This is I1. Okay, this is plus minus V1. This is plus minus V2. Okay, this is also similar to the previous problem. No? Just if you write the two KVLs, input KVL and output KVL, you will get the answer. Yeah. Can anybody read out these equations, basic equations for the Z parameters? First. Hello. One of you please read it. Hello. రీడ్ చేయండి. వినపడుతుందా లేదా? That is Z11 E1 equal to Z11 I1 plus Z11 I1, Z12 I2, V2 equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. Right? Now KVL at M1 this side. Yeah. Can anybody read out the equation? Hello. Fast now. Hello.
V1 minus 20 I1 minus 25 into I1 plus I2.
Okay.
Minus 0.5 V2.
Minus
0.5 V2 is equal
right.
to
Good. 0.5 V2 is equal to 0. So therefore, if you rearrange this equation, this is V1. Okay, 25 plus 20, that is minus 45 I1. Okay, and this is minus 25 I2. This term, okay, this becomes 0, right? As the port is 0, this term becomes 0. Therefore, minus 0.5 V2 is equal to 0. Okay, now if you divide this total equation with I1, that is V1 by I1, this is 45 by I1, I1, right? So therefore this V1 by I1 is nothing but the Z11 minus 45 minus 0.5 V2 by I1 equal to 0. This is one equation.
Sir, V2 by I1 Z21 అవుతుంది.
రాస్తాను. That is V2 by I1 is nothing but the Z21. That is సో దీన్ని కొంచెం రీఅరేంజ్ చేస్తే సిరీస్ దిస్ ఈజ్ Z11 minus 0.5. This is nothing but the Z21 is equal to 45, equation 2. Okay. Now, when port 2 is open circuited, so if you find out the drop across this one, okay, 5 to 0 means the drop across this 50 ohms is 0. So therefore V2 equal to, V2 equal to 25 I1 here plus 0.5 V2, right? So therefore this is minus point, this is 0.5 V2, this is V2. So therefore, so if you take the LHS side, this becomes 0.5 V2, 1 V2 minus 0.5 V2. So that is you will get plus 0.5 V2 is equal to 25 I1. Clear? Okay. So therefore V2 by I1, that is nothing but the Z21. Z21 equal to 25 by 0.5. So this becomes 50 ohms. Clear? Now if we substitute this Z21 value in the equation 2. So therefore here we will get it as this is Z11 minus 0.5 into 50 is equal to 45. So therefore Z11 is equal to 45 minus 45 plus 25. This is nothing but the 70 ohms. 50 into 0.5 is nothing but 25. So 45 plus 25, 70 ohms. Is it clear? Yeah. Similarly, second one. Similarly, when I1 is 0, plus minus 0.5 V2, this is 25, this is 50, this is 20. Now, when port 1 is open circuited, when I1 is 0, this is a equivalent circuit. This is plus minus, this is the equivalent circuit when I1 is 0. So this is V1, this is plus, and this is V2, right? So when I1 is 0, this term becomes 0. Drop across this one is 0. Now if you apply KVL at output side, there. Read out this equation now. KVL, port 2. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Minus 5 into I1 plus I2 minus 0.5 V2 is equal to 0.
I2 plus I1. Okay? Writing with KVL. Right. Minus 0.5 V2 equal to 0. So therefore V2 equal to okay. So therefore ఇక్కడ చూడండి, this is V2, this is 0.5 V2. మనకి ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది plus 0.5 V2 is equal to ఎంత అవుతుంది ఇది RHS సైడ్ తీసుకొస్తే 75 I2. So therefore V2 by I2 equal to ఎంత అవుతుంది ఇది 75 divided by 0.5 is nothing but the 150 ohms. Clear? This is nothing but V2 by I2 is nothing but the Z22. Similarly, when V1 is 0, this one, that is to find out this Z12 is V1 by I2. ఏంటి మనకి V1 వాల్యూ కావాలి. So to find out this V1, so if you find out the drop across this terminal, ఈ టెర్మినల్ దగ్గర డ్రాప్ కనుక్కోండి. అది ఎలా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తున్నాను. Then I1 is 0. So that is V1 is equal to 25 I2. Drop means the current flowing through this. So ఇక్కడ I1 0 అయినప్పుడు ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య ఉన్న డ్రాప్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి. ఏంటిది? when I1 is 0, the current flowing through this branch is I2. So therefore 25 into I2 plus 0.5 V2. Clear? So therefore if you divide this total both sides, RHS side and LHS side, with I2, V1 by I2, this becomes 25 by I2, 25 I2 by I2, okay, shit. Okay, so that is Z12. V1 by I2 is nothing but the Z12 is equal to 25 I2 by I2. Okay, this I2 get cancelled, plus 0.5 V2 by I2. So what do you mean by V2 by I2? V2 by I2 is nothing but the Z22. So how much you got? Z22 value 150 ohms, right? So therefore 25 plus 75. So this is nothing but the 100 ohms, right? So therefore Z equal to Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 is equal to, yeah, read out these values now. This is Z11 we got as 70, okay, Z21 we got it as 50, Z12 we got as 100, okay, Z21 is 50 and Z22 is 150. It's clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I go for next one?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. This is the last problem in the Z parameters. No? So in the next class we'll see this is the next another parameter, that is Y parameter. Okay. See, this is a different one. So up to now we discussed about only two loops, right? Mesh 1, mesh 2. Here if you see this in the circuit, you will find three loops. Loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Three loops on this one. This is one loop. This is one loop. This is another loop. Okay. This is I2. I1. Okay. So as it is a lengthy problem, so I will explain it. Okay. So for this Z parameters, these equations are given as okay. V1 equal to basic equations. Now, when I2 equal to 0, that is when the port to output port is open circuited. When I2 equal to 0, so if you apply KVL at mesh 1, you'll get these equations. V1 minus 10 I1, this is 10, and minus 10 I1, okay, minus 12 into I1 minus I2, okay, is equal to 0. Okay, here you just mind you, here these port currents, these are denoted by capitals, capital I1, capital I2. inside these loop currents, these are denoted with small I1s, I1 and I2. Okay, so you please don't confuse with this representation denotation, right? So this is I1, capital I1. Inside of this loop is denoted by small I1. Clear? Similarly, coming to loop 2, KVL at mesh 2, this side. Okay, that is if you start here, minus 14 I2, minus 16 I2. Okay, each one is this current is this side, this is opposite inside, right? So therefore 12 into minus 12 into I2 minus I1. Okay, so if you rearrange these equations in the matrix form, you will get like this. You simplify this one, and if you rearrange it, you will get like this. That is 22 minus 12 minus 12 42, and I1 I2 is equal to V1 minus V1 0. Okay, so if you see here in the port 2, there is no voltage source here. దీంట్లో voltage source ఏం లేదు కదా, ఒకటే V1 ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ V2 అనేది 0 వచ్చేసింది. Now to find out find the delta value, okay, and to find out this I1 value, you need to find out the delta 1. Okay, after finding the delta 1, okay, if you take the I1 equal to delta 1 by delta, you will get the I1 value. Similarly, to get the I2 value, find out the delta 2 value, and if you take the delta 2 by delta is nothing but the I2, right? Okay, and one more thing, if you see here in the first loop, this
Sir,
capital I,
presentation.
Sir, your presentation is
okay, right. Just hold on, there is a network issue. Just hold on, I'm reconnecting again. Yeah, just hold on, there is a network issue. Still it's loading. Hello, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And to find this I2 value, we need to find out the delta 2. Okay. And after finding delta 2, so you take delta 2 by delta, you get the I2 value. Okay. Okay. Once monkey, if you got the I1 value and I2 value, you will get this Z11. What is Z11? Z11 is nothing but the V1 by I1. So this Z11 equal to V1 by I1. V1 by I1. Similarly, I2. I2 equal to, okay, what do you mean by V2? V2 is nothing but the drop across this one. 16 ohms resistance. Right, this one. Ikkada. How will you get this drop across this one? So if you know the current flowing through this branch, you will get the drop across this one. So what is the current flowing through this branch? The current flowing through this branch is I2. So therefore, V2 equal to I2 into 16. Okay. So therefore, you will get V2 value is this one. So once if we got the V2, so V2 by I1 is nothing but the Z21. Similarly, case 2. What is case 2? When I1 is 0. When port 1 is 0. Port 1 current is 0. This current is 0. Same procedure. Apply KVL at these two loops. Rightmost loops. Okay? And you will get these equations. And if you arrange it in the matrix form, you will get this one. Again, same method. Find out the delta value. Okay? After finding the delta, you find out this delta 1 and delta 2. Okay? Okay? And I1 equal to, again, same procedure. Delta 1 by delta and I2 equal to delta 2 by delta. Okay? And only one thing is here, how to mind you is, here in the case of this side, here I1 and small I1, this capital I1 and small I1 in the same direction. See here. Whereas here, you see here we taken capital A2, like port 2 current and inside loop current. These two are in the opposite direction. See here. Okay, these equations are applicable for this notation. So నేను ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో తీసుకున్నా కాబట్టి కరెంట్ ని ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో తీసుకున్నా కాబట్టి లూప్ కరెంట్ ని ఈక్వేషన్స్ ఇలా వచ్చాయి. ఓకే, ఇది ఇలానే రాయాలని ఉండదు. యూ కెన్ టేక్ ఇన్ దిస్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆల్సో, సేమ్ డైరెక్షన్. ఓకేనా? అప్పుడు మీకు ఇది కొంచెం సైన్స్ నోటేషన్ చేంజ్ అవుతాయి. whereas remaining procedure is same. So therefore, V2 by I2 equal to Z22 equal to this value. And similarly, to get this Z12, you need to find out V1. Okay, so V1 కావాలి. How will you find out V1? V1 is nothing but the drop across this one. How will you find out drop across this one? దీంట్లో ఫ్లో కరెంట్ తెలిస్తే మనకి దీని దగ్గర డ్రాప్ వస్తుంది, ఈ బ్రాంచ్లో డ్రాప్ వస్తుంది. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ వాల్యూ? I1. I1 వాల్యూ తెలిస్తే మనకి ఇప్పుడు వచ్చేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ V1 ఈక్వల్ టు హౌ మచ్ యూ గట్ I1? I1 is this value here, right? And V2 is this one. So to substitute here, you will get the Z12 value. That's it. ఇది మీరు సాల్వ్ చేయండి అన్న. స్టిల్ మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే ఐ విల్ క్లారిఫై ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్. దిస్ దీస్ త్రీ లూప్స్ ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే, సింపుల్ ప్రొసీజర్. మనం ఏంటంటే ఈక్వేషన్స్, లూప్ ఈక్వేషన్ రాయాలంటే పోర్ట్ 2 సైడ్ I2 0 అయినప్పుడు ఈ రెండు లూప్స్కి లూప్ ఈక్వేషన్ రాయాలి, మ్యాట్రిక్స్ ఫామ్లో పెట్టాలి. I1 I2 ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంటే డెల్టా 1 డెల్టా 2 ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి, డెల్టా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి. I1 కావాలంటే డెల్టా 1 బై డెల్టా, I2 కావాలంటే డెల్టా 2 బై డెల్టా, రైట్? సో వన్స్ మనకి I1 I2 వాల్యూస్ వచ్చేస్తే మనకి ఈ రెండు వాల్యూస్ వచ్చేస్తాయి, Z11 అండ్ Z21. ఇది పోర్ట్ 1 సైడ్. పోర్ట్ 2 సైడ్కి వచ్చేసరికి I1 0 అయితే మళ్ళీ సేమ్ ప్రొసీజర్. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉండొద్దని ఇగో ఈ రైట్ మోస్ట్ లూప్లో ఇక్కడ I2 ఉంది కాబట్టి క్యాపిటల్ I2 ఉంది కాబట్టి ఫోర్త్ కరెంట్ ఈ లూప్లో కరెంట్ని I2 తోటి డినోట్ చేశాను, స్మాల్ I2 తోటి. Okay, clear? The next one, condition for symmetrical network. So if input impedance, that is Z11, is equal to the output impedance, that is Z22, then the network is considered to be symmetrical network. So that is Z11 equal to Z22, that is V1 by I1 equal to V2 by I2. Okay, is called as the symmetrical condition for the two-port network. That is Z11 equal to Z22. The next condition for reciprocal network. So what is the reciprocal? If the ratio of the excitation or source. What is the excitation? Excitation is nothing but the input. The ratio of the input to response. Response means output. The ratio of input to output is same even if the source and excitation, that is input and outputs, are interchanged. Then such networks are called as the reciprocal networks. So that is V1 by I2 equal to V2 by I1. That is Z21 equal to Z12. This is called as the reciprocal condition for the two-port network. Three loops problem. Okay, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 5 ohms. Procedure is same. Three loops అన్నిటికీ the procedure. So the basic equation for the Z parameters, V1 equal to Z11 I1, Z12 I2, V2 equal to Z21 I1, Z22 I2. So therefore when I2 equal to 0, Z11 equal to V1 by I1, and Z21 equal to V2 by I1, right? And so here V1 equal to here top across this one, that is nothing but the 2.6 I1. అంతే సేమ్, ఇది జీరో అయింది కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ పోర్ట్ కరెంట్ జీరో అయింది కాబట్టి దీస్ టూ ఆర్ సిరీస్. ఓకే, దీస్ సిరీస్ కాంబినేషన్ ఇస్ ప్యారలల్ విత్ దిస్ వన్, రైట్? ఇది మొత్తం ఈక్వలెంట్ కనుక్కుంటే మీకు ఇది వస్తుంది మీకు. ఓకే, అండ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ దిస్ V2, that is drop across this one. While you find out drop across this one, voltage division rule. Voltage division. What is voltage division rule? While you find out voltage division rule here. That is nothing but the total current flowing through this branch into opposite resistance divided by total resistance. Similarly, port
Sir,
one
your
side.
presentation is not visible, sir.
This for this also the procedure is same. None. Three loops కదా, మెష్ ఈక్వేషన్స్ రాయండి. Start on the mesh equations. and find out the I1, I2 and V2 and V1. So therefore, if you take the ratios, that is Z1 equal to V1 by 1, Z1 equal to V2 by I1. Similarly, Z1 equal to I1 by, V1 by I2 and Z2 equal to V2 by I2. Procedure is same only. This also you take it as a homework and do it.
Sir, notes
Okay,
class
Namidi?
of the post చేయండి sir.
Post చేసాను PDF షేర్ చేస్తాను క్లాస్ రూమ్ పోస్ట్
ఈరోజు చేయండి సార్.
చేసేస్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay, clear? So therefore V1 equal to 2.6 I1, that is nothing but the V1 by I1 equal to 2.6 ohms. Z1 అంటే మనకి V2 by I1. So V2 ఎలా వస్తుంది మనకి? This is drop across this one. That is nothing but the this one. Okay, 5I1 into 2 total resistance, that is 5, 7 plus 3, 10. So therefore V2 equal to I1, that is nothing but the V2 by I1 equal to 1 ohm. Similarly, when I1 equal to 0, this side. So this is V1. Okay. So therefore, V2 by I2 is equal to 2.5 ohms. Okay, that's it now. I'll stop here. Next class we'll see the another parameters, that is Y parameters and H parameters and ABCD parameters. Just hold on, I'll take the attendance. Yes, Neeraj, are you there?